So today we will be ranking every single tower in Doomspire defense. First we will be ranking the first tower, Battler. See, Battler is not good on its own, and it can not even beat easy mode on its own. Personally, I give this a D tier only because it is good it is a little bit better when you rank it up with Mastery. The second one we have is Slingshotter. Slingshotter is really okay, but it is a lot better in its second form, which is BB Gunner. Now, then we have Swordfighter. This is going in the A tier because this is one of the best early game towers. Again, it does a bunch of damage and almost close to Moderator. With how much it costs, it's crazy how good it is. Now the fourth we have is Paintballer. Ever since it got its mastery, it was a really good mastery, and now it has that paint grenade thing. So I put this in a solid B tier. Bomber is okay, so I'll put it in a C tier. What Bomber does is it traps down bombs and throws bombs at enemies. Now these bombs can do splash damage, but they are not the best, and with that in Battler, it can barely even defeat easy mode. Now Freezer. Freezer is okay, again. I've never really used him, but he's not the best, so I'll put him right here. He's not really usable and nobody uses him. Now, the sixth we have, seventh, is Baller. Now, Baller is baller. So, Baller gets a C tier because you probably already know, and he's self-explanatory. Now, this is probably only good when it has Mastery, but other than that, I will put it in B tier. Now, Mr. Tix is going in a straight A tier because it gives money each wave, and at its fourth upgrade, it gives a bunch of money. So I recommend this tower. Trawler, again, it's not really usable, and this is going to be our first F tier because nobody really uses him. Arsenal is one of the best towers, but it gets overpowered by its mastery form. Other than that, it's going in B tier because I can solo a bunch. You know what? Screw that. A tier behind Mr. Tix. Ray Gunner is okay, but I would put this as a great crowd control unit just because of how it does during every battle. Again, its crowd control is okay, but it's not really usable in games, so I'd put this in a hard C tier. Six Shooter is one of the guys that got overpowered by Corsair because now it barely gives money. So again, he's gonna go in a solid C tier. And I'm gonna put you up just one more. Now Cloner, he's one of the dudes that is the best early game towers. And again, his max form, he has 100 when he has 100 HP on each of those shades. And he spawns about 6 of them. So that's 600 HP. Spawn B. It's a great tower with a great spawns. Again, its max form gives Swordmaster, which I believe is probably one of the best. Now Pianist, this used to be really good and very usable, but now it's one of the just C tier because it's not really usable and nobody really uses him no more. Again, he lost his height. And here we go for Heavy Gunner. Heavy Gunner is going to get a hard A tier. If I can put him in that. He's going to get a hard A tier because he's a great crowd control unit, but he costs way too much, so he can't go into S tier. Now Boombox, he's going in S. He's a great helper and a great support unit. And with slow firing towers like Ray Gunner and a bunch of others, it can do very well. Now you're going in S tier, and the reason I say S tier is because of its mastery and its abilities, which are very self-explanatory. Again, this is Hyper Laser. He has very good damage against bosses, and it doesn't cost as much as Heavy Gunner. Now Wixard for me, he's going in S tier. He is a great control unit, and for how much he cost, I'm surprised he isn't seeing grass prices now. Rockstar is going in S tier again because he's one of the best support tower units. And Boombox and Rockstar, it's a great duo. Now let's go for Corsair. I want to put this in B because it's not bad, but pizza for that, I hate it. It barely gives enough money as pizza. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in a B tier. Now Shielder, on example, he's also going in B tier because again, Shielder, he's okay. He can block attacks, but he really doesn't do enough damage with himself, even though he is another crowd control and AoE unit. Machinery is going in S tier. He's one of the best units because again, with him at level 3 or 2, he does a bunch of damage, and he got a hard rework or just a little stat buff. Again, with Rockstar and Boombox, he can do phenomenal. Now General, he's going in A tier, right in front of Swordmaster. He's going at the top because I don't want to put him at S, even though this is one of the best towers. The only reason why I don't want to is because he costs way too much. And if you're going on a single game without any any Tix units like Mr. Tix or Tycoon or Corsair, you are not going to be able to get him past level 2 or 3 because he costs way too much. And here we go for Barracks, or I forgot, Terminal Garage. He's going right on top. Again, he's not as good as Pizza, but he has a lot of better features. And he also has the skin that reminds us of the one and only Pizza that got digged down into a grave. Now, Kingmaster, he was a little B tier until he got his ability, which nobody really has him, so I'm going to put him in S tier just because he's a really great unit that is really great. And here we go for Survivalist. Survivalist is going in A tier just because he is a very good buff unit. What he does is, if you get something that's stunned, he can heal it, which is a very broken move. Apparently, but it's not as good to go in S tier because of Machinery that has Medic Lily. The only reason why I say Survivalist is in A tier is because of its damage and its ability, which is its main. Now Moderator, he's going in straight S tier. He has a bunch of skins that are fun to use, and he is one of the best towers with his chain ability. I will not say any further because he's the greatest. Now Lumi, I had to do 2 events for this. 2 events. And, believe me, the second event was hard as heck. The first event was not that hard because I just had to find somebody that had Arsenal. Lumi for an event tower is an F. No, go in front of Traveler because you suck. You barely do enough damage, and they said they were going to rework you, but they literally just made you worse. You are a waste of money. Other than that, we have Pinata. Pinata, he's going in B tier, and the reason I say B is he dies. and he cost a little bit, not a little bit, but more than enough money to get another one, and you can only have about 2 or 1 of these. Brute Biker, he's going right over here in A tier because he, again, cost a lot, but seriously, he's a great tower with his burning rubber ability, and he does a lot of damage on his own. He can take down Juggernaut easily. Headless Jack, we haven't really seen much of him other than that. We could barely get him because of how hard he was to get. So other than that, I'll put him in A tier because what he does is he apparently throws jack-o'-lanterns that get onto the enemies. And now we have BB Gunner. BB Gunner is a direct version of Slingshotter, and that's why he goes 2 up and all the way into B tier. He can solo green. He can solo easy mode easily, and I will explain no further because he has massive damage, and with Boombox he can do insane. Now over here we have Teamers, a direct version of Arsenal that goes in A tier because of how broken it is. Again, he costs a little bit, but he's great. All of them have enough damage because one has a minigun, another has explosions, another has for a rocket launcher, and the other one has high damage. With that, it's crazy. You have single target, hard damage, and then you have crowd control. All this, it can literally just be normal on its own. Now this, I don't really know what this is. So this is probably going to go in as Snowballer because Snowballer has not really been ranked yet. No, this is Tycoon, my bad. So this is Tycoon. Tycoon goes as a straight A tier. The reason I say A tier is because he has an ability and you have to keep clicking. I know that sounds fun, but when you have stuff and when you are soloing, there's no way you can just do that and place a bunch of towers on its own. And Galactic Gunner. Galactic Gunner is going in S tier because of its damage and what it does. See, it has a thing that does crowd control, and it's explosions of splash damage. So I'm going to explain no further and put that in S tier. Now Varys on his own, I'm going to put this over on the straight of A tier, right behind General. The reason I say A tier is just because it's a little meh version of Tycoon, of its original version, which is Spawn, but it has weapons. Yeah, you see how broken that is. A shotgun, a pistol, and its main version instead of Swordmaster is Executant that spawns faster and has a minigun. Wow. Again, you can see how broken that is because it's a mini version of Exponent. But anyways, this is the whole group of it, and I wonder what y'all think of this, and I think it's a pretty accurate tier list. And other than that, I'll see y'all in the next video. But before I go, I want to show you that there's going to be a video right up top here, and then right below here, and then where you subscribe right up top here. I'm sorry, I have a stutter. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, and go watch another video. Other than that, I'll see y'all. Bye.